typesoul has gone from one of the most praised games in the anime community for its combat, visuals, and player experience to one of the most hated and toxic game experiences on the Roblox platform. How did this happen? Well, in today's video, we're going to be covering what I want to think is one of the biggest factors in this downfall. If you do end up enjoying the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel as it is free and helps out a lot. Make sure to like the video if you do enjoy, as these take me a lot of time to produce. And let's jump right into it. I think it's safe to assume that no matter how polished or produced your game is, there will always be people that will complain and spread negativity. However, with typesoul, there is no positivity. There will always be constant harassment, let that be from players, creators, or even the management of the game itself, constantly complaining about the game and putting it in a negative light. If your entire fan base despises your game no matter what you do, why put your all into it? If typesoul produces a good update, it's met with complaining. They produce a mediocre update, it's even worse. God forbid let typesoul release an update that doesn't have enough content for the player base to hold themselves out with the entire community, and they go ballistic. One of the best examples people like to bring up are the updates produced by Cetro and updates produced by Dave. And the biggest thing that you need to take into account when you think of this is that these are two different people with different ways of releasing content and producing it with two different teams. Especially with the fact that typesoul is hiring new developers currently while they overhaul their work ethic on Hell and other large updates. typesoul is currently, in my opinion, falling into the deepwoken pandemic of weekly updates. Now, some people may be confused by what I mean by this, so allow me to explain. Weekly updates tend to put stress and strain on the developers, causing sloppily made content to try and just basically be presentable for the weekly update without the proper care and testing needed, leading to negative community output and all around even more stress for the developers. Many people have recommended bi-weekly updates for typesoul so that we get better quality content. However, when they do end up doing this and releasing less content in return, people still complain about the amount of content and quality. This in turn ends up leading to content creators for typesoul deserve no introduction. From creators like Nano Prodigy to Balboa to Elixo, there's a wide plethora of content to enjoy and watch on the game. Unfortunately though, some creators tend to use their platform to purely bash and hate on every single little detail of typesoul to a point where it almost seems obsessive. Plenty of people would come to the defense of this and say, they're just making their bag. Money is money, bro. Rent's due, unk. Put the fries in the bag. But that's just not true whatsoever. If you defend this behavior, then you're just as bad as the people doing this stuff. Now, I'm not here to use my platform to suck the skin off of typesoul's meat right now, but I want to bring some light to how negative outreach from content can affect the community, especially with how big some creators' communities can be. Most people that view content are, well, answer respectfully and take whatever they hear at face value at 100%, because why would my favorite content creator ever be wrong? It's brainless thinking, and it's sad to think that influence can be used so negatively, especially on a younger demographic. Some creators, which I won't be naming but I will be putting videos up right now to prove, use their platform to just spread hate on every single little thing, and then when there is positivity, they jump on the train, and then they go right back to hating negatively. It's really just a sad way of posting content, and trust me, of course you're allowed to, post content and do whatever you want to on your channel. It's your channel, you're the content creator here. But using it purely to bash on developers for stuff that they probably don't even do when they're under a lot of stress, in my opinion, is just bad. You're just adding fuel to a fire that's already brewing. It's just weird in my opinion. Shit though, I guess. Whatever puts food on the table, man. One of the biggest things that people like to complain about in typesoul is the replayability of endgame content. Let that be clan wars, let that be ranked, let that be even basic PvP or PvE. But my question is, if we're going to be complaining about things like when they drop new accessories for us to grind, yes, sure, it may be annoying when you have a maxed out build and you're forced to go and basically get the new accessories to go and do that, but let me know, is that still content? It might not be good content from, a viewpoint of a player, but it is still technically content. Take into account deepwoken with their latest update with a dungeon. Take into account when they drop a new mantra. Take into account when they drop a new piece of equipment. Some people may think that this isn't content in, a player standpoint, in a replayability standpoint, in just a playable standpoint, but you still need to think about it that they are dropping content every single week, the same day sometimes. I know sometimes, the occasional Sunday update. There'd be the occasional Wednesday update for a balance patch, but you need to think that being this consistent on a Saturday is insane work for a group of small developers. Most of these people being just teenagers doing this in their own free time, and some of these people not even being professionals at all and just doing this for fun. So the fact that people are just, because I mean, this has been a problem in the community since the game's probably been first released, and it's that the community is just killing the game itself, because it started with, I know this is going to sound like a stupid point to bring up, but the faction racism. Yes, that was a real thing. Faction racism in typesoul was a real thing when the game was first released under dev and chaotic, and then with the rise of copies and just hating on the game when the files first got leaked, which, I mean, is just stupid. I mean, the fact that I even need to bring this up in a video is insane to me. The fact that over 40,000 players of typesoul despise the game so much that they would rather play a cash grab stolen asset copy than wait for content in the actual typesoul just speaks volumes on how twisted the community really has fallen into since the files got leaked. Especially since developers started to leak the game's files themselves for selfish reasons such as money, greed, or internet clout. It really just goes to show how bad of a position the community for typesoul really is in. Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to be naming these copies, but if you know, then you know. I mean, I can name one of these copies, and that would be Menma, as like probably the best example of a typesoul copy that technically, quote-unquote, killed the OG typesoul. But at the same point, you need to realize that OG typesoul had zero content in it and had literally zero like dev outreach. They practically killed their own game. But the difference now is that typesoul is actively trying to develop and actively trying to push updates and content out. I mean, we have people on the team such as Daniel, Lonray, Christy, we have my boy, you know, Josh. Shout out to Josh, man. And honestly, I just want to give them a big round of applause for even being able to work on content this much, especially with all the setbacks and all of the negativity in the community. Because, like I stated in the video, if my community is going to be negative towards me, why give it my 100%? But they've been able to push through, and they've been able to just take all of these challenges that they've come in their way and push through, man. Lonray probably has some of the best maps I've seen on, you know, on the Roblox platform. The lighting's immaculate. And then Daniel, he's just gotten on the team and he's already shown that, you know, he has a lot of potential and that he listens to the community. And that's something else that I want to talk about, is that the typesoul's community outreach has gotten so much better to the point where it actually feels like the developers and, you know, the content creator managers and just the owners themselves, they are actively talking to members of the community, and they're active members now. And I feel like, you know, that might be, oh yeah, because, you know, the copies are making them go into locked in season. I don't think that's the case at all, and they just realize that if they want to have a good game and they want to actually fix the problem with their community, they're gonna have to do their job. And I've talked to some developers about that, I've talked to some managers about that, and the thing about the community outreach for typesoul is that a big reason for like why they act the way they do sometimes is because, oh yeah, some people here just, you know, don't like to talk to people, they just want to get their work done and just leave, you know, get paid, stuff like that, yada yada, and that's respectable 100%. But going the extra mile and actually interacting with the people that play your game really shows that you care about your community, and that, you know, that hits deep in the soul to feel like you matter in a sense, especially for, you know, players that play your game and support you and, you know, give you money and stuff like that, yada yada, you know, sucking the skin off your tip. Sorry about that, but let me know if you guys did enjoy this video. You know, I've been meaning to make a video like this for a tiny bit now, but I've gotten, you know, kind of caught up in a couple of things. Also, let me know if you guys would like me to make a video covering the copies of typesoul, because there recently has been some drama with, you know, some content creators and typesoul and copies again. I know this is like a monthly basis now, but yeah, man, if you guys did enjoy the video as well, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, make sure to join my Discord, linked in the description. I'll catch you guys in the next upload. Peace, man.